Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is Deputy Speaker. This is my first adjournment debate, and I'm delighted to bring this topic to the Chamber for today on a wide range of consistently raised issues with myself, other Alliance reps across the Castlereagh South area, from Knockbreda right up to Carryduff. I just want to start by saying it's such a privilege to represent such a vibrant and growing area. The demand for housing, I think, is a particularly clear indication of its popularity. But with that, it also brings a series of challenges and issues that must be resolved, and that's what we're here to discuss today. Housing alone does not make a community or a neighbourhood. And when I talk about infrastructure, I don't just mean roads, public transport and planning, although they are all very important. But I'm also talking about community infrastructure. And I want to address 4 key areas of concern and opportunity: green spaces and active travel, pedestrian safety and traffic, public transport, and planning and development. So firstly, green spaces are a major priority in Castlereagh South, and it's raised with me on almost every doorstep whenever we do outreach in the area. It's clear that more land ought to be secured for future green space use, and that this needs to be considered as part of future development plans. We want to see parks developed and expanded. There are brilliant examples of really positive work, including Carryduff Park, and I've been able to work with our councillors and Paula, local schools and councils to support improved biodiversity. The Greenway is a separate project that needs to be progressed by Lisbon and Castlereagh City Council, but it feeds into a much wider need for active travel routes and cycle lanes in the area. Even simple things like footway clearing make such a real difference, but it is often neglected. There is also the need for upgrades to Lochmoss Leisure Centre. The people of Carryduff just deserve so much better. On the development of the walkway from St Ita's Primary School, it's been agreed, and that is a real win, but I'd be grateful if the Minister could look into this further and provide an update on the progress here. In relation to pedestrian safety and traffic, this is something that comes up in my office time and time again. My office is on the St Field Road, and we're told that there is an urgent need for safe pedestrian crossings on the St Field Road, especially at the Carryduff Church Road roundabout. The Church Road pedestrianisation is a recurring topic, and traffic volumes are extremely high and growing in these areas. I've spoken in this chamber about the roadworks along St Field, Knockbracken and Ballymaconaghy roads. That is before we get into the anticipated impact of future roadworks related to the glider if it comes on the St Field Road traffic. The Four Winds roundabout experiences very heavy traffic volumes. There's positive work in relation to the upgrade, but I would appreciate an update from the Minister on that today if she can give it to us. Forestside traffic is a major concern, especially with the little development coming into play. Entry and exit points on need for improvement, especially the roundabout as you come off the main road. It has such an impact on the arterial and commuter routes. The Hillsborough Road pedestrian crossing at Lochmoss Leisure Centre is something that we've raised with officials, and we know that they will be reassessing, but residents are really keen to see results here. Parking at Hydebank playing fields and controlled crossing on the Purdy'sburn Road for St Ita's School is also something that's raised, as is parking in and around Cairns Hill Integrated Primary School. In terms of public transport, there just is a really poor bus service to Four Winds and Carryduff, frequent delays, overcrowding and no-shows. We've spoken to TransLink about this, we've written about this, and it's just a recurring problem and there doesn't seem to be a solution. Buses frequently terminate at Forestside rather than going all the way up to Cairns Hill, and that's something that has been raised with me on many occasions by constituents, especially during busy periods. In the run-up to Christmas, we really need to see improvements over what happened last year. When buses terminate early, it puts people off using them, and that has an impact on moving people into active transport. There really is an improved need, and there really is a need for improved connectivity between Belfast and Lisbon. The final of the 4 points I want to raise is around planning and development. Planning applications should include green spaces and play parks, and there should be a greater focus needed on enhancing community infrastructure within housing developments. There are so many young families moving into these areas, and there's just nothing for the children, and a lack of green space is something that's really felt. Walkability and connectivity between developments should be prioritised rather than a patchwork of different developments. We really need to create a sense of community and connection, and I would be interested in how the department can facilitate this. There's a need for better linkages and walkways between housing developments. things like Knockbreda Healthcare Park, it's unused land, and there were discussions with the health minister, but could this include a community centre? There's a real need for place building for community development, and I think the infrastructure department can have a role here. Carryduff Public Realm, need to see commitment to that project and delivery in the time ahead. One final point I'd like to make in relation to planning is there are so many developments coming up in the area, and when issues arise with the developers, it's very difficult for MLAs to advocate for their constituents in relation to them. What support can the department give to residents who are having issues with developers and they just don't know what support they can get? I'll close by saying that Castlereagh South is a really brilliant, diverse, shared community that is growing and developing every day. But it can't just be about housing. People are calling out for improved infrastructure that doesn't just improve connectivity, but supports community development and ultimately builds a stronger sense of neighbourhood. Alliance will continue to champion these issues, and I'm very grateful for the Minister being here today. She's very patient in answering my multiple questions and letters I write about the area, and I look forward to hearing her remarks in the debate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Kate. And it's good to hear your voice back making sort of speak.